going against Virtus.pro, who aren't really the big shield team. Of course, they'll be banning the attackers to start things off. They still ban one shield away, and that'll be the monster that does get removed. Then often you do see either a Ying or a Grim as that secondary spot.
FURIA taking their time, as you normally do on this initial portion of the round. Trying to work things through. Pasha crossing once again. Almost like he didn't realize that he just got shot right in his back. A nice little find here. Frag grenade. No way. Pasha's going to be able to slip away for just a second, but the window play here from FURIA, it's just fervent. It's absolutely everywhere as it peels Pasha away from Virtus.pro.
Feeling very confident with that rotate back. I'm not sure that FURIA have a great way to root him out of this position now that they're all out of nades.
I'm going to put the Selmos down and make it to where Bathroom's a little bit more complicated to play. Hertz will be able to find Dan as he tries to commit to that rotation, and around the building we go with that new repel system over to White Stairs. They know somebody's more than likely around this space, but Shepard too active to hold on to for Hertz.
Keep in mind, bomb site's not on that top floor. We're seeing a lot of action up there, but of course it is going to be mining, dining to start things off for Virtus.pro, and top floor players on VP will all choose to back off.
Could be a solid consideration. FURIA looking to clean things out over on the White Stairs, as we already know they are clear. Want to hold on to that and create some angles in through the wall here. Shepard waiting extremely patiently, but that might not pay off in the way that he wants to. He's right underneath the window. Nobody can find him, but finally Nate will knock him down. There's a man underneath. It's always with some impacts. A frost map for one, and he'll be able to take out JV92, but the case is going down. He doesn't know where it is either. It's over near that rotation that we saw earlier, that little vision shot into the wall, and nothing doing for Virtus.pro. It's down to always, so clamber up the red stairs to try and make something of the situation, but Philippox very aggressively changes positions. He knows that he has to try and IQ scanner out here. Will discover one of the players on their phone inside. I do believe that's Shepard as he pilots one of those yokai drones around. Dan, a very important position here. Knows there's bodies around, and he beats KZ out. But does he know there's another one here? He'll take the fight, and he'll win it out. And that might be the moment for Virtus.pro. It will be. Off the back of that effort, Shepard lines up two as well.
Well, it's definitely been better in the first round. They haven't given up those early picks. Much the same strategy from VP. KZ starting to make some ground, though. He's looked so deep, Sam.
Oh! Might be able to get a good find here. Pasha will get that, and they're fighting fire with fire. They know one's in white. JV92 goes down, and Virtus.pro a little soul-searching through these first two rounds, but it seems they've found themselves, and particularly Shepard. 5-1 at this current moment in time. Really channeling himself into Cafe. What else will we expect? You want that 5-1 scoreline? I highly doubt there's even a smirk on that man's face. Always cool, calm, and collected. Nade, one of the twin brothers from Brazil, to try and have any solution to this equation. Oh, so close to tagging Pasha there, and he's on such low HP as well. Shepard's right around the corner. We'll dip back out towards pillars, but he doesn't have any information. He's just checking everything as quickly as he possibly can, but it's Joystick to put it down on Nade. And that will be the round going the way of the defense.
Sam, we didn't catch it from a first-person point of view because we were busy watching the shenanigans going on with that push up top from the hard support player on VP. This is a 27-year-old man we're talking about, Sam, and still making
you watch yourself. Okay, you better watch yourself.
I know. But still old for the range of pro players that we see in this game, but making really aggressive.
And that's kind of a terrifying prospect for him. They'll more than likely be pretty aware of what's going on. He does have that Boss G prepared for the run out. He will swing. He'll be able to at least find one, and Dan will find the other. Virtus.pro have a great pace for Cafe.
And again, I just don't think FURIA are ready for this. Philippox, you heard him before the game started. He said that this team can do the same thing all the time. We've done a lot of research on what they do, but there's no way that you're researching Pasha running out with an impact in Boss G because he just doesn't do that every time. You can't make that a constant strategy.
M590 and the Boss G. Do you want slug or do you want shot? That's really what it came down to, and the answer is yes, Jesse. It didn't really matter which way you sliced that one, unless you're talking about Joystick. You get a little scared there for that second one. It's Nade all alone on an island once again, just like in our previous round. This time a 1v5 down to a 1v4 after he'll take out Joystick, and I mean, maybe there's a world, maybe. You never know. Not This time around, though. The barbed wire's there, and it's unfortunate timing. Virtus.pro will continue on their escapades here on the defensive side.
That's going to be a high-pressure game. Can't think about that right now if you're VP or FURIA. This is going to be a bakery push that ends up coming out, so a bit of a different game plan for FURIA now, just avoiding Dan and VIP, and they do find the opening pick.
What a way to find that frag. The eye of the needle, Herds capable of pushing a camel through it, apparently. He'll take down one. Always will finally find something for the defense, as they've done a pretty good job of being able to just take their time here and see how FURIA is going to try and enter the building, but FURIA have done a bang-up job of breaking down said building. I mean, Virtus.pro looking quite worse for wear. A very long angle here and a shot that must be hit. The case is going down, but they can't kill the red player. The verticality up top is too strong, let alone the fact that Herds is decimating every opponent that he comes into contact with. FURIA with a fine adjustment on this round, recognizing that FURIA, or rather VP, really wanted to slow things down, bring it back to bear on the site, so FURIA choose to, well, peel up the floorboards and make things complicated.
Another round for FURIA on the board, another one that comes after a double entry from Herds. Doesn't happen from the windows this time, Sam. He's just playing by big door, and the swings come his direction, and man, Herds does not miss those very often. I would argue maybe the best aim in the world when you're looking just at individual mechanics. Always leading the world in headshot percentage, 71%. Highest of any player at this tournament when you look at the season overall.
Couple of adjustments here. I especially like that since we did have that third ban come in here, FURIA are now bringing out some more creative operators, some of the things that are a little bit more annoying to deal with on the defense. Practically 4 out of the 5, really. I mean, Ash is just a little icing on the cake, right? Blackbeard, Deimos, Lion, Dokkaebi, things you don't want to hear said if you're on the defensive end.
The logic bombs come out, and so do the first couple of kills. Sam Shepard gets the first, but it's traded back by KZ on the Deimos. Managed to make a lot of big space, and KZ's not done.
What?
Still finds more. Triple kill come through with the pistol. They're finding everybody now. VP have to run back to site.
Herds is putting this case down. JV, yes, gone, but it's up to Dan. This was just KZ legitimately walking through the map and eliminating every single person that he could find with a revolver.
Logic bomb was coming out. Plant was going down. KZ was killing everybody. So there's a lot of things to focus on if you're Virtus.pro in a round like that. Look at the 3-3 split, and I kind of mentioned earlier in this game, that's almost a bare minimum, right? You're really worried if this gets a little bit out of hand, how this might end up going for the team.
The most important piece of the puzzle when it comes to the utility available for Bravo to try and steal, but obviously still want to have the capability to have that gun up, but Joystick will have the equalizer. Okay, we're rolling back the clock here, my friend. Nice shots at a Joystick in that 5.52 commando. It'll bring us down to the last minute.
Diffuser's on the roof, so they've got to be a little bit cognizant of that. Somebody's got to go back to get it. It'll be Always who is tasked with that job. Meanwhile, everybody else just focused on getting the site control, Sam. They've got loads of map pressure at the moment and man advantage.
Okay, Z running into a little bit of an issue here with that cocktail window player. He'll get lit up just a little bit. Joystick will flirt with the cigar door, wraps over to New Balk once again here. Don't believe that he knows somebody's down low near Brown, though, so this could potentially become an issue. They most definitely know that JV is playing around Deep Freeze, though. As this deployable shields here, he's been sending shots for a while. They'll blow up that shield and try and swing on in. He'll find the first one. The second one will go the way of JV92. It's a triple kill. They need to find a place for the case, but KZ! Practically wearing a ghillie suit here inside of Cocktail. He'll take him with the super shorty.
Oh, Sam, the trades were absolutely perfect for Virtus.pro right up until they weren't. They had such a good clear. They were using their numbers. They knew where these players were at. They said, Fleetbox below, we can ignore him. That's fine. JV's inside a freezer. We can double swing him. We'll get the trade. We still have numbers. That's fine. We know that we know that KZ is inside a Cocktail. We still got 2 players left alive. That's okay. We can make a swing and get the trade, and it's totally fine. Until it isn't. Just better on the side of KZ, prone inside a Cocktail. Hopefully we get to see that once again, too. Might have whipped the first one, but then the super shorty just is able to get it done in the end.
40 seconds remaining, and yes, that might seem like a little bit of time, but Virtus.pro, they've got all the time in the world when it comes to the siege clock. Pasha holding on to red. I don't know if he knows one's over near a bag, but he'll check it. A lot of barbed wire. There's people everywhere. Pasha just challenges it, but I think it's because we have some things going on inside. The fuse is in just a bad way. Always will be able to assist. The fuse still alive, but JV92 will take one for himself, and all of a sudden this entire round is just so very discombobulated. They don't know where these players are pouring in from, but they're still finding the frags. Joystick with a nice find of his own. He'll be able to slip back into Freezer, as Shepard will attempt to put this plant down. Nade finds Shepard and Joystick through the verticality. The shoe is on the other foot, as Virtus.pro simply don't have the bodies to try and assist themselves.
Sam, that round was total chaos. I was watching the top-down feed, and it just looked like a Benny Hill moment where everybody was running around. Nobody knew what was going on. Shepard got into that plant spot so early in the round. He was there very confidently. He had always covering above, and then always died. He's like, okay, I can't plant. But then it's okay. He's got the horizontal coverage coming in instead from Joystick. And then Joystick died. He's like, I can't plant. And then eventually he gets pushed. He's got to get kills on his own. Its effectiveness this round will kind of determine how things go later on. Kiba Barrier is also going to be a threat and a target for that last defender ban. We're seeing how impactful those can be just to keep these top floor players alive. JV92 and Herds have both existed for so long in these aggressive positions. Not because Herds doesn't want to go for some picks, and he takes his opportunity but doesn't find it yet. He's so annoying in this spot, Sam.
He is, and he's going to get aggressive because guess what? You're not playing ticket window, god damn it. You're not swinging. FURIA take full advantage of that, and they will simply run amok. That's all they really needed to do at the end of the day. Virtus.pro are starting to fall into some trenches of too much respect right now. And FURIA, they see the look on their faces, and they are out for blood. Pasha will go down. It's looking like a flawless round starting to build here in round 9.
All right, well, you jinxed that one, Sam. Always
curse, maybe.
But Herds is not going to feel bad about going down there. Okay, if there's one player in Siege that is never afraid to die, it's Herds, and so he's certainly gotten his kills getting ready for this round. Top floor usually at this point would be given up by the defense, but FURIA feel themselves, and they're a team who do not give up ground if they're not forced to. So they will continue to play this top floor. There's a player inside a cocktail that's going to be Nade. That flash goes his direction, but unfortunately doesn't find much, and Shepard, little to do here, Sam.
Yeah. If anything, if I'm Shepard, it's probably a pseudo timeout. Maybe go to the roof, but no, he's going to hold the angle. He'll get hopped out on from White, and FURIA really starting to compete here on Cafe.
But at a minute 40 on the clock, they still had all 4 Candelas in pockets, all 2 Smokes still in pockets, still a Nade in the pocket of Always, all 3 Selmas still in the pocket of Pasha. They just hadn't really been using their util up until that point. There was still a lot that they could have used.
See if there's anybody that could potentially get this pick. I love this aggression from KZ. He knows that nobody's going to influence anything from this other portion of the building, so he's just being a damn nuisance. Yeah. Just keep that thing dinging. What, do you want to get down off the rappel, Shepard? I know that you have to manage these windows, and guess what? If I stand right here, then you can't do anything about it. Unless you want to rappel all the way over, and I shoot you in your face. So far, so amazing here from FURIA, as they are doing everything in their control up against VP, minus stopping the plant. Nobody knows this man's planting in the middle of goddamn Long Bar, and Virtus.pro are somehow winning the round. What in the hell is happening?
No shot in the 1v4, surely, Sam. I mean, this has been ridiculous so far. There it goes. Dan finishes him off, and that's going to be a clean round going down. Beautifully played, and red. Not sure if they've still been found up above. There are yokais as well that'll be moving around the bomb site and providing a lot of information. One VIP and one still inside a freezer to watch the drop. First playing inside a VIP should be the first point of contact as the gunfight comes in.
Joystick? Does he know this man's inside a VIP? This could change the entire round if he's able to find him with that Nitro cell in his hands. Herds is still ready. It seems like they've got a ping out over there. The Nitro will go out towards Shepard. The swing coming in from Herds. Joystick, it's a must win. They'll finally be able to get it. VP with 2 big picks. Yokai's in here, though. This could be a huge situation here, especially with KZ up close and personal. He runs in. He's trying to bully the round away from them, but how do you bully a mountain? He'll get knocked on his ass and murdered. 20 seconds remain for Nate and JV92 to try and pull this back across the line. Pull Cafe back into their favor. They've got some yokais. It's a double kill. He'll be able to hold on for just a split second. Oh my days. He's been discovered. Oh my heartbeat, Jesse. It hurts.
Still some pressure. I mean, Herds has not left his position. Pixel, Nate's not left his position either. They are really hunting for this kill, but the time is starting to tick down, Sam. They haven't done it. They haven't gotten aggressive to find that. More Goyo cameras are just going to keep getting popped.
Oh, Nate, what a shot. A perfect moment in time. A kill inside of a vacuum as no one will be able to try and refrag him at all. Fortunately enough for them, Joystick, once again from Cigar, able to find some value as he'll down Herds. Pasha gets one as well. Virtus.pro starting to propel themselves forward. He sees the blood on the ground. He'll find the kill as they'll rotate over towards the white hallway. The top floor now in their control as FURIA has abandoned ship, but they haven't abandoned the site.
JV and KZ made the decision to run back down white. They think the 3v4 hold is going to be advantageous to them. Shepard in a very sneaky position up the red stairs. Could catch them off guard for a late round push. And this defuse kit's going to be dropping trains to go for one of the two different bomb sites they can push for. So really scary situation for VP.
What? What a shot out of Philippox. Discovery work. FURIA patiently awaiting any Virtus.pro threat, any threat at all. It doesn't matter what your name is. JV92 has your number. And Pasha with a lot to say and a little amount of time. JV92 shuts it down. FURIA will take Cafe away from the Russian machine. Loaded up. The players in the server, we're into the bans. Clash and Ace already gone. Probably going to see another hard breach go because, well, it's Bank, Jesse. Oh, we're not. It's going to be Capital. The Hobana's going to stay up. So continue to sit here at the bottom of blue stairs. This is a pretty tasty prospect for him, especially with that M590 and the fact that they've got so much utility to pour into this situation. He just put his first smoke down. Now, here's the one thing, though. Just a little caveat. There's two ways that this can go down. He can swing off this smoke right here and just push his way through, and that's exactly what Always will do. Persistence is the name of the game, and Virtus.pro now making headway towards the bomb site.
Maybe we don't need Blackbeard, Sam. I mean, Always just makes this operator look like it's completely irrelevant. Coming in with the fuse and doing just as good of a job to take down that kill. Long angle from KZ all the way back in garage will find Shepard, so it's going to equalize numbers, but this is a traditional push, right, Sam? Virtus.pro inside security, 30 seconds still to go. How do they deal with the Tachanka? How do they deal with the Echo? That's my big question.
Really, it's just you got to kill him, Jesse. They have so much utility right here to stop all of this. Always is just going to continue to burn. They've got a yokai too. They have no choice but to shoot the opponent. There's no space here for Always to try and work this. It's now or never. They're waiting to see if potentially somebody can get him. Somebody finally finds Nade, but the fire was already in transit, and that's more than likely going to be it. Dan tries to stick it. He's on 1 HP. He'll adjust, but he's going to get stopped by the yokai. He's got one more blast, and FURIA good as gold from the gold vault.
Now you'll show that both of them here are going to be here inside of Janitor. Makes it really tough now. You brought that Zofia instead of the Ashe, so you really don't have good counters. It's a nice pick from Dan, but the util's still there.
A nice pick from KZ, and once again, equal footing. And what do you notice? Very similar time frame to what we had in the last round. And VP, not winning the fights that are a necessity at the current moment, wasn't able to find KZ. Always will get a kill onto Philippox, though, as they'll start to open the door back up for themselves. But a pretty bang-up job done by FURIA thus far. Still have the potential of delaying and denying things too with the utility that they have at their disposal. But Virtus.pro also have a lot more access to the building than they once did.
40 seconds, I mean, Always is jumping out the building. He's going to rotate over to the square window, to the CEO windows. But again, Miros will be watching those if he tries to jump on in. He's going to have to choose some other way to get in, maybe Banana instead. But there's no good option here, Sam.
Yep. That's why you're seeing what we're seeing right now. It's not the worst thing in the world. We've seen plenty of kills from the Skylight Repels before, and Shepard will find one. That's the thing. Sometimes the angles just get awkward, and you'll never even consider it. A nice little find here, 10 seconds remaining, and a chance that FURIA are able to make this a 2-0. KZ trying to take his time. He'll swing in, but not this time. Joystick will be able to find his mark. Waiting to see if there's any potential for the spiral space, or if there's just a gap down low. Pasha will continue to search. And knows there's one on the long angle. Gets tagged up all the way from top square. And that's the thing about these walls up here, Jesse. Some of these angles get ridiculously long. And this is one of these that are constantly fought over. And Dan will find it with the cameras.
Okay, that'll do good. Managed to find the long angle coming in with the DMR, so that's going to really start things off from Virtus.pro.
Oh.
Was worried they wouldn't be able to. Big trade coming out from Pasha and KZ. 1-for-1 as they shoot each other over towards elevators. Top floor now going to be fully held by Virtus.pro.
Not going to have that hard breach come in here. As you can see, Kitchen starting to be the focal point of this push. They do have to worry about blue, as this is always a hot commodity for rotation, and that's a beautiful find. That's just Joystick being smart and playing bank a bajillion times.
Yeah, he went down through the sewers, Sam, outside the building, so knew exactly what he had to do to deny that important position. Reflank from Hertz, though, is gone top floor. This could throw a huge wrench in their plans if he lives, but he dies.
What a find. JV92, the last one remaining, but has he slipped through the cracks? That's the real question. A nice find here on Shepard, but Dan's there to be able to sweep it under the rug. And Virtus.pro around here yet again.
VP in this clock. They like to flirt with it, Sam. Sometimes it gets a little dangerous, but it doesn't seem to matter. In this round here on Bag, it does feel like they've got a good handle on it. That Grim may be being a bit too annoying over the last couple of rounds, though, as it does get removed.
Same as last time, always. Gonna put a can opener here on the bottom. Follow up on the other side. They did the cluster charges upstairs, so they didn't have to really worry about, following through like they did on the wall previously. Cluster charge on, and then obviously a can opener. This time around, though, always will start the plant. The fire eating at him as he will make it away with only about half of his HP. They do have plenty of time here, but here's the issue with a position like this. Guys, look at the amount of fire grenades that Tachanka gets. He's got 16 of those up until Dan murders him. He swings in, he finds the kill. Dan! Oh my! The plant goes down! Who the hell needs a Virtus.pro when all you need is Dan? What the hell is that? A quad kill for him. He's looking for the ace. It's practically all him and an always plant. They know where the last man is too. He'll try and bully him with the shield, and that will be a Dan ace. A flawless round for Virtus.pro after they ban away the yokai.
Dan is in a position where he could come back him up, but at the moment nobody is behind him, so it's a bit of a bluff as KZ is standing his ground.
Always. He's going to have to work himself away and get this goo mine out. Finally, he'll get some help from Square here as his team will work its way in around him. KZ usually ends up winning those, but Dan, I think he's found himself yet again.
Joystick knows that somebody's just run back to side, but he couldn't quite find the player before he would skate back into safety. Bird starts to get some sights set up now. It'll be a Square push. Monty's already deep, but doesn't mean he can safely plant without the cover of his team.
Well, that Square sledgehammer starting to work its way in from Virtus.pro. The Russian machine eating at FURIA. This mirror window might be the saving grace if they can prevent this plant. Pasha will take down one. JV92 with one of his own. The Nitro Cell will down always. And this is where things can reach critical mass. The case on Dan. He knows that there's somebody in behind him, but too many bodies will eat up FURIA. The Polar Bears dominant on the offensive side. Fire on fire from FURIA. Speaking of which, Nade still has 15 of those nades on him. So it's going to be quite an interesting result to this. As always, he's burning up. He can't get around the sheet as the grenade bounced through the mirror window. Actually, no, off the door frame. And he's able to find one. This round falling flat on their face is Virtus.pro. FURIA, they set up the tripwire, and so far it's going off without a hitch.
Yeah, I mean, they read him perfectly. The Sens walls might not make too much of a difference now. There's still 5 players that can sprint through the wall if they want to. Here comes the plant attempt. We'll see if there's a response.
I love the light screens here. It's going to require something out of FURIA to get things done. Joystick, he's able to get the plant, and this is a pretty difficult post plant. Pasha will be able to get one. Do they know know that joysticks inside of server, that's the biggest question. FURIA's got a lot of bodies to try and donate to this problem. The biggest thing is that both of these guys need to stay alive for some bit of time. If one of them dies, it's all downhill from there. Fire grenades out. Nade will get one. This case starting to look more and more tantalizing. Shepard with one of his own. He'll be able to get another. Can he get there in time? Oh, it's ticking down, and it's over. It's planted in the corner. That hatch not even useful in this situation.
Kind of tilted the scales back in favor of FURIA. Man advantage was just too much to overcome. Nice attempt on that final attack from Virtus.pro. They still get 4. Still have KZ down below as well, currently playing inside a basement, so this will be a double kind of flank now coming up the staircase.
Oh, the timing, and Pasha misses!
Oh, no.
You'd never see that. JV92 making the most of the situation, but FURIA and Virtus.pro going round and round, body for body right now, until FURIA are able to bully their way into the top floor. They will shore up this scoreline practically automatically when they request it. What a first offense.
Yeah, and that really highlights kind of what FURIA do best, right? This team have been together as a 5-man unit for like 3 years at this point, Sam, right? It's been a very long time since they've been playing each other. And they've been playing at the highest levels, right? These guys are former world champions for a damn good reason. Part of that's the coordination. When one person makes a play, everybody makes a play. It's not just the Nook that's walking up spiral stairs, it's the Dokkaebi that's walking up the main stairs. It's the Ying that's rappelling in through the windows. It's the Sens who's holding long angles on the windows, right?
They're going to try and dedicate themselves to this roam. Hopefully they're able to find some sort of value. We do have a player here on Marble. Did the drone find him? It did, and he shoots, but KZ, he's too damn clean, Jesse. He only needed one shot out of the 6-cylinder. That's it, man. FURIA have done a pretty solid job of being able to work their way into the map, but with 30 seconds remaining, they need a home for this case, or at least the capability to work their way into the side and start doing irreparable damage to the remaining players. And now, this is the time. How will they strike? JV92 working his way down Marble. Nade over here on the red drop. All the crosses working their way in. A beeper will signify the player is on Marble. A flash out will blind the hell out of that player in the main office. FURIA flying into the bomb site. Nade will confirm things with a potential plant. The yokai will come through, and he doesn't get it! Shepard, for the first time in my goddamn life, I see him shake!
Sam, he missed. Oh, devastating mistake from Virtus.pro. Stolen from out from under them. That could have been a Shepard masterclass play, but instead, that initial 2K entry from KZ ends up being the real decider of this matchup, with the man advantage being way too powerful. Oh, that was a scary round for FURIA fans, but they must be ecstatic.
Dan, trying to maintain his position up top, does know that players can have some influence over towards square, as that angle's been open for a while now. Fire out as they start to look to try and burn things down inside of Kitchen. We do have that player inside of Archives attempting to rotate, especially with Philippox working his way in. This could be a plant coming down soon as FURIA are bullying the defense. It's down to Pasha, but he hits a shot. It's a trade instead, though. It's Shepard to try and get anything done, but it doesn't matter. They don't even go for a harsh execute, Jesse. They practically just walk into Kitchen and plant.
Yeah, I mean, it's a full confidence push coming in for the Panthers. Could have thrown a real wrench into that plan, but because he was on the dock, he couldn't really do much vertically. Again, the plant was coming cafeteria, so your only real option at that point is to flank up through top square, and as he does that, shut down by the flank watch of JV92, maintain this spot. That's where the ranged hard breach would really start to find value, but again, not really being brought on the side of FURIA. Instead, it's a spiral push that's incoming, Sam. Philippox on the shield starting to make his way up, and they get an entry pick onto the best player of VP.
This is terrifying. This is exactly how you don't want this to go. If you're one of the polar bears, a nitro cell out will start to repel. Some shots come in towards him. FURIA making some headway. Here's a wrap around Banana. JV92 will be able to take down Shepard, and it's all starting to fall apart for Virtus.pro. They just haven't found a way to successfully step up to the plate. KZ with the double kill. He'll try to wrap around. He'll get the trade and at least stop the flawless, but what the hell does it matter when the round is slipping away? And so is the map. FURIA looking indomitable on this offensive side. JV92 over inside of E2. He knows these players are in open area. You can see the droning JV92. Practically a sniper rifle in the hands of the Habana. He'll eliminate Pasha immediately, so he'll have to wait on the bench.
Their holding hatch is really aggressive, Sam. This could be actually big for them.
It really could be. Flash grenade in JV92's hand. Still the fire persists, another Toyo out. They found a little gap at the back end here, but another smoke grenade out too. Great utility work from VP, but now the aggression comes in. Nade with the plant, JV92 and the rest of FURIA with some nice shots, but Nade, he's confirmed the plant. FURIA now putting VP in the hot seat. It's a 2v2, a 1 versus 2, and there is a new apex predator at the top of the food chain. It's the Panthers over the Polar Bears.
What a plant spot coming out at the end there. Nade gets it down in the smoke so that it can't get denied by the Nitro cell. Shepard got so many big kills, but just like the last time in the basement, Sam,